Here at 6 o'clock, I'm Jason Hackett alongside Lauren Lemanche.
Yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful Monday to start your work week. Also for a lot of the kids going back to school. Some districts start today, I know, John.
My kids are back today. Happy, this is Asher's first week. Well, first kindergarten day is on Wednesday. Don't make me choke up here. Zoe's in third grade. Now, parents, if your kids are going back to school, we got a little conflict here. You probably got this cute little sundress. Maybe go with a little light coat over it. I'm not sure. Just put the coat on after the pictures. There's a frost advisory up in International Falls and Grand Rapids. Now, that's a problem. We're in the 40s here this morning, but for back to school, yeah, it's about as cool as it gets. So you can see some communities. There we are, 49 here in the backyard. Crystal at 49 degrees, 43 in Princeton, 46 in the St. Cloud area. Glencoe now in 48. So, Carver County, Wright County, we're talking about 45, 46, a little chilly. How about 38 and 36? They got that frost actually settling in International Falls. Winds are pretty quiet right now, and it is very dry. Now, we're going to be talking about a phenomenal afternoon, but it's the earliest coat I've ever put on, well, in 3 years, at least here in the backyard. Good morning, Cece.
Good morning, 6:01. Hope your Monday is off to a great start. The Anoka area seeing kind of a busy start, things going down to one lane on Highway 10 eastbound right at Round Lake Boulevard. We are seeing quite a bit of slowing in that area as you head toward Coon Rapids. Speeds have improved slightly, but again, slower than normal. So if you don't want to sit through any type of traffic this morning, you're leaving out the door soon, you can hop on Round Lake Boulevard. I've seen a lot of drivers do that. You can also hop on Main Street to then hop back on Highway 10. I'll let you know when slowing improves in this area, but again, construction is causing that slowing. Other than that, though, that is the only area around the metro right now where I am seeing slowing, and we still are crash-free. Lauren.
All right, Cece, thank you. Now, before we get to that breaking news in Minneapolis, we're also monitoring a developing situation in Golden Valley. Right now, State Patrol is investigating after a car crashed into a tree around 3:30 this morning, and then another car fled the scene. Officers say the crash did involve a drunk driver. Right now, we don't know the extent of any injuries. They tell us one person is in custody, but they don't know how or if they are connected.
Now to our other breaking news here. An investigation is underway in South Minneapolis.
Right now, we know there are people hurt after an incident on the road. It happened at 5th Avenue South and Lake Street around midnight, leaving shoes and a dented bike lying in the middle of the street. Audrey Russo's live in Minneapolis now with what she's learning this morning. Good morning, Audrey.
Good morning, Lauren and Jason. Yeah, this is near 35W and the Phillips West neighborhood. And we've reached out to Minneapolis police for more information on exactly what happened here, how many people were hurt, and the extent of their injuries. But for now, this is what we saw at the scene around 1:30 in the morning. Take a look at this video. The initial calls for service came in at 12:30. Our cameras on scene could see a dented, banged up bicycle laying in the middle of the street. There were also clothes and other debris strewn about the pavement. Now, it was just police cruisers, no ambulances when our cameras were at the scene. But witnesses told us that they saw an ambulance earlier in the investigation, and one person actually gave us this video. You can briefly see that ambulance and some people lying in the street and on the sidewalk as well. So the big questions here: who was injured? How badly were they injured? Was this a hit and run? Again, we've reached out to Minneapolis police for more information on exactly what happened and if there's any suspect descriptions or vehicle descriptions that they have their eye on as they continue the investigation. We'll bring you those updates as soon as we know them. But for now, Jason, Lauren, I'll send things back to you.
Audrey Russo with the very latest. Thank you so much. This morning, we're waiting to learn more about a shooting in St. Paul we first told you about last night. On our 10 p.m. newscast, we reported a large police presence near the intersection of York Avenue and Forest Street. Our photojournalist at the scene says he saw bullet evidence markers in the street. We have reached out to St. Paul Police for more information, but we have yet to hear back. We're going to update you, though, as soon as we know more. And in Minneapolis, a woman is recovering after being shot while apparently trying to quiet a group outside of a home. This happened around 3 Sunday morning near 33rd Avenue and Russell Avenue. Police say people were outside of the home making noise. That's when those inside went outside to speak with them. Police say someone in the group that was making the noise pulled a gun, shooting a woman who came outside. That group ran off before police arrived. So far, no one has been arrested.
This morning, new students at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities will start to move in for the fall semester. This as 1,400 union workers prepare for a possible strike. Teamsters Local 320 just shared their voting schedule in the last 8 hours. The Twin Cities campuses will be voting on the university's final offer this week. Duluth will follow next week. The negotiating committee is recommending workers vote it down. The university says they want to avoid a strike because it would harm the community, including employees.
In just over 24 hours, special primaries will begin for 2 open Minnesota Senate seats. The primary will determine the DFL nominee for former Democratic Senator Nicole Mitchell's seat following her resignation after her felony burglary conviction last month. So on the DFL side, there are 2 current state representatives, Ethan Chaw and Amanda Hemmingson Yeager. The winner will face the only Republican candidate, Dwight Dora. Meanwhile, in Senate District 29, 3 Republicans are vying for late Senator Bruce Anderson's seat. The winner will go on to face the sole Democrat. Both special elections are set for November 4th.
New overnight, National Guard troops patrolling the streets of Washington, D.C. are now armed. In the last 12 hours, Guard members started carrying their service pistols. A small number of troops are armed with their service M4 rifles. It comes just days after Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth authorized troops to carry weapons for self-defense. Now, despite being armed, White House officials say the troops are still not allowed to make arrests. And taking a live look right now from Chicago, where Democrats say they will sue if President Trump sends the National Guard to their city. It comes just hours after White House officials confirmed he is considering that option. It's still not clear how many troops President Trump plans on sending or when. City statistics show violent crime is down by double digits, but Trump says locals want him to get involved. CNN sources say a Chicago deployment would be like the one in Los Angeles during the protests earlier this year.